Hello and a warm welcome to the program. I'm Melinda Kinlami. Our focus is on the North Central today, but first, our top stories. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has dismissed the appeals brought before it by the All Progressive Congress APC and its governorship candidate, Mr. Timipre Silva, to challenge the judgment of the Bayelsa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal. The tribunal had in its judgment delivered May 17th this year in Abuja upheld the election and return of Senator Doye Diri and his deputy, Senator Lawrence Ewojakpo, as the duly elected governor and deputy governor of Bayelsa State. Justice Abundaga, who read the lead judgment of the Court of Appeal, affirmed the declaration of Mr. Diri and the People's Democratic Party (PDP) as the joint winners of the November 11th, 2023 governorship poll in Bayelsa State. He also awarded a cost of 500,000 naira to be paid by the APC and Mr. Silva to the respondents in the appeal. Members of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities (SSANU) and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities (NASU) have threatened an indefinite industrial strike next week. That's if the federal government does not pay their 4-month withheld salaries. During the protest at the Unity Fountain in Abuja, the workers asked for the release of their 4-month salaries, renegotiation of the 2009 agreement with the government, and funding for state universities. Security operatives prevented the protesters from marching to the Ministry of Labour and that of Education as earlier planned.
The Unity Fountain in Abuja has been associated with several protests. Today, it's the meeting point for the national protest organized by the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities (SSANU) and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities (NASU). The security operatives are on hand but are not allowing protesters into the venue. Some of the protesters and journalists who want to cover the event were even locked out. After some agitations from the protesters, the gates are opened and officials of SSANU and NASU address their members. But as they prepare to leave the location for the Ministry of Labour and that of Education, the protesters meet another hurdle. The security officials block the exit with their truck. Undeterred, the protesters address journalists stating their demands.
This action actually is forced on us by the inaction of the federal government. So we will use this opportunity of our members assembly here to carry our letter, which we are saying is the final communication. We are going to submit that letter to them, hoping that by next week, the 4-month salaries of our members are paid to them. If that doesn't happen, we will then not be blamed if we completely shut down the universities.
Monies have been withheld and that our workers are finding it very difficult to survive within the system. So in the interest of peace, tranquility and development, whoever that is keeping his knee on our necks should take it off before we shut down the system.
Leaving other protesters behind at the Unity Fountain, the union leaders made their way to the Federal Secretariat, where they submitted their protest letter to the permanent secretaries.
With respect to pass this on to the Honorable Minister of State.
The protesting university workers are demanding the payment of their withheld 4-month salaries, renegotiation of the 2009 agreement with the federal government, and increased funding for state universities, among other demands.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives is urging proponents of a proposed nationwide protest to shelve the plan and consider patience as well as dialogue with the federal government instead. This follows a motion of urgent national importance raised by Honorable Ibrahim Isiaka. The House agreed that the challenges are not quite unique to Nigeria, but universal. Lawmakers also add that the road to change is not easy and citizens should not lose sight of the reforms and strides made by the current administrations towards a more prosperous country. The Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman, has reversed his decision to peg the admission age of undergraduates to 18 following protests from stakeholders at the 2024 policy meeting organized by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, in the nation's capital, Abuja. Professor Maman said heads of tertiary institutions will be allowed to admit candidates who are 16 years of age and gain admission into tertiary institutions of their choice. The minister was forced to succumb following the argument that students under the age of 18 had already registered, sat, and even passed the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination and were awaiting admission. To other matters now, about 7 suspects have been apprehended by security operatives from Fan District or Bakin-Ladi local government area of Plateau State with automatic and locally fabricated weapons as well as different ammunitions. The Deputy Director, Army Public Relations, Major Aliu Danja, told journalists at a media conference that the suspects were arrested when troops conducted a follow-up operation across 3 villages in the district.
In pursuance of one of its mandate to mop up illegal arms and ammunition from the hands of unauthorized persons, the Joint Security Task Force Operation Safe Haven, alongside personnel of 3 Division, Nigerian Army is conducting an operation in Fan District of Bakin-Ladi local government area of Plateau State to recover arms from gun runners. In the course of this operation, security personnel came under attack at the Sangasa village, in which a member of the team was killed.
It will be recalled that a tactical team of 3 Division and Operation Safe Haven, while conducting operations to recover arms from a gun runner's hideout at Sangasa village in Fan district, was attacked in the early hours of 10th July 2024. During the operation, a member of the team, an immigration officer, Assistant Superintendent of Immigration, C.L. Agwam, was killed by the criminals. Following the incident, troops conducted a follow-on operation in the district to recover illegal arms and ammunition and other dangerous weapons. During the operations that lasted for 1 week, the team arrested 7 suspects and recovered both automatic and locally fabricated weapons, as well as different caliber of ammunition from Ratas, Ratonso, and Sangasa villages, all in Fan district in Bakin-Ladi local government area of Plateau State.
In a condolence visit to the family of the slain officer, the General Officer Commanding 3 Division of Nigerian Army and Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Abdusalam Abubakar, promised that the officer's unalloyed service to the nation will not be in vain. The fallen officer, an assistant superintendent in the immigration service, has been buried in Risik community, Jos East local government area of Plateau State, where he was given the last respects with encomiums showered on him as a gallant officer who paid the supreme price in the line of duty. In continuation of efforts to rid the area of gun runners and apprehend those involved in criminal activities, 4 persons have been declared wanted. An appeal has also gone out to the public to collaborate with security agencies by providing credible information about criminals and suspected activities in their domain.
From security to politics, the Kogi State Independent Electoral Commission has scheduled the state local government election for October the 19th. The chairman of COSIEC, Maman Eri, made the announcement during the stakeholders meeting in Lokoja, the state capital. He promised a level playing field for all the political parties who will participate in the poll and warned against any electoral violence.
With the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1999 as amended, and the powers vested in the State Independent Commission, Electoral Commission, SIEC, I hereby formally present the timetable and schedule of activities for the conduct of the 2024 local government elections in Kogi State, which will be scheduled for 19th October 2024 by the grace of God. It is not the duty of the chairman of the commission to declare election results. From our laws, election results are declared by the returning officer for the chairmanship at the headquarters of the local government. All he needs to do is to send it to me for me to broadcast. I want you to understand this because most of the time the target is the chairman is compromised. I want to tell you that the law permits, and that is what we did last time. I didn't declare anybody winner. I just voiced it out so that the media can take. For the councillorship, the ward returning officer mentioned the winner of the election at the ward.
Active session provided an opportunity for participants to make observations and clarifications.
IPAC want to still appeal to you that the nomination fee as indicated in the guideline is too high for us. I want you to take a look of it again. Secondly, the date as presented before us for primary elections is too close to us. August is just by the corner, and we are having about 2 or 3 weeks to begin primary election, which I don't think is achievable.
About 400 billion have been approved for government to spend in 2004 appropriation. We have about 300 billion, and just on the 5th of this month, another 58.6 billion supplementary was also approved by the State Assembly. I'm happy the majority leader is here. In all the budget line, election was not captured or mentioned. Where do you intend to get your money from? And then issue of budgetary, I'm sure you may have your budget. The citizens of Kogi State need to know, are you conducting election with 100 billion or 200 naira? That's our concern.
The National President of the Association of Local Government of Nigeria, ALGON, Mr. Aminu Maifata, has given assurances that local government chairmen will comply with the judgment of the Supreme Court. At a media briefing in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, he appreciated the federal government and added that all the chairmen will deliver the dividends of democracy to the grassroots.
We're going to abide by these decisions, as if we can recall the chairman of the Governors Forum, being our principal, had clearly came out with their position that they will also abide by the decisions of the Supreme Court. So we are happy for that position, and we will follow up. And we have keyed in because those decisions are overwhelmingly accepted by the generality of Nigerians. If the Nigerians, the people we are representing at the grassroots, have agreed overwhelmingly and happy with this ruling, so definitely being their representatives or being those holding mandates on their behalf, we are going to respect those decisions and make sure that those decisions are being religiously followed as they concern local government councils chairmen across the country.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, sir, in the past, now with the...
Still to come on the program, the Kwara state government distributes inputs to farmers. We'll give you details of that and other stories. Join us again. Welcome back. As part of efforts to address insecurity by creating access to quick-time response, the governor of Benue State, Reverend Hyacinth Alia, has approved the construction of the Awaji-Oju 34-kilometer road. Mr. Alia announced this at an open assembly appreciation tour in the local government areas.
In the last 14 months, Governor Hyacinth Alia has prioritized the provision of critical infrastructure and payment of salaries, with many urban and rural communities benefiting from this intervention. This informed the governor's decision to go on a statewide tour of various project sites. One of the areas visited is Ojuobi Federal Constituency, which lacks motorable roads. Addressing the crowd in Oju, the governor says he has also approved the construction of Awaji Oju State Road to link Phase 2 of the Loko Oweto Road, which cuts across Otukpo-Obi to Cross River State, as approved by President Bola Tinubu.
Our President, Amen, Bola Tinubu Jaga, who I told I was coming from to say thank you to my people, and I told him I was coming to Oju, Obi in Igedeland, and then I said, but they don't get road. So he said, are you serious? I said, yes, sir. I said, are you only saying yes, sir? I said, sir, all right, I'm ready. This is why this road is going to be constructed.
Some leaders from Benue South Senatorial District laud Governor Alia for introducing confidence into democracy.
This governor has recognized the need to uphold the sanctity and dignity of labor.
People are smiling because pensions is being paid. People are smiling because infrastructural development is ongoing. What else do we need?
In Akpa local government area, the Commissioner for Power and Transport, Omale, speaks on behalf of the people as they lament the unabated killings by suspected herdsmen.
The issues that are confronting us here are very familiar to you. We are in receipt of all security reports day by day, and we have brought them promptly to your attention in council. And we have and enjoy the best of your assurance, from insecurity to the wide infrastructural gap in Apagatu. We are reassured of your total commitment to making good all your promises.
Responding, Governor Ali assures them that a lot has been done to restore normalcy to areas affected by violence and a lot more to return farmers to their ancestral homelands.
Even Apagatu is enjoying relative peace, but that doesn't mean that we have finished with the problem. We have so much work to do still. I don't believe in talking security. I believe in doing security.
The Alia administration says it is aware that infrastructure development will be a waste if there's no safety of lives and property, promising to continue to close the gaps in both areas.
To agriculture now, the Kwara state government has distributed farm inputs to about 10,000 farmers to boost food production as part of measures to implement its 10-year agricultural plan. During the distribution exercise, the State Commissioner for Agriculture says the initiative will go a long way in ensuring food sufficiency in the state.
Kwara state government already has a 10-year plan to boost agriculture and make food available to residents and communities in neighboring states. In continuation of efforts to implement and actualize it, 10,000 farmers are being given seeds and fertilizer to ensure robust availability of food across the state.
We started this year with a special rice intervention to boost rice production in Kwara State. And we supported about 3,400 farmers. And then we immediately had another intervention. And we have just now started the third intervention, which we are supporting 10,000 farmers across the state, focusing on farm clusters. And again, we're supporting them with quality seed, we're supporting them with agrochemical, and we're supporting them with fertilizer.
Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, flagging off the distribution program, prays for the farmers that this support will lead to bumper harvest and improve their livelihood.
These initiatives reflect the administration's dedication to sustainable and inclusive agricultural development. By supporting farmers, food security is ensured, jobs are created, and economic growth is driven forward. Efforts will continue to ensure interventions are effective and sustainable, with ongoing engagement with farmers, stakeholders, and partners to align with the needs of the agricultural community.
10,000 farmers have been chosen for the 10-year program from different parts of the state.
It's not a new thing to us in terms of everything that we've been doing. It's actually been a part of the agenda of His Excellency Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak when immediately resumed office in 2019. One of the first things that he did was to come up with a 10-year transformation plan, agri-transformation plan for the state, which really, the objective is really to address food security in Kwara State, food and nutrition security in Kwara State. And majorly, starting with, the 4 pillars of agribusiness, input, production, processing, and market linkage.
Some of those keeping a close eye on the process commend the state for its thoroughness and ensuring that real farmers benefit from the exercise.
Seeing what we are saying this afternoon again shows the commitment of the governor and his team in government. We as CSOs were also part of the input distribution that just took place for rice farmers. And we need to state that it was real farmers that benefited from that distribution.
The state government says the selection process was meticulous to ensure that there were no fake farmers to prevent the resale of inputs.
Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State is asking the 10 newly sworn-in judges to be just and fair in the discharge of their duties. The governor stated this in Lokoja, the state capital, during the swearing-in ceremony of the 4 High Court judges, 5 Qadis of the Sharia Court, and 1 customary court of appeal judge. Governor Ododo urged the judges to ensure that they treat everyone fairly for a peaceful society.
The Muhammadu Buhari Square is a venue for the swearing-in of 10 judges who will serve at the High Court of Justice, Sharia Court of Appeal, and Customary Court of Appeal in Kogi State.
Thank you.
Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State lists the list of dignitaries in attendance to witness the ceremony, including judicial officers, state lawmakers, as well as top government officials. The need to uphold the tenets of justice administration dominates the remark that precedes the actual swearing-in.
To view this elevation as an act of God's benevolence towards you as individuals and the judiciary in general. As you are very much aware, many persons apply for the coveted positions that you all were selected for. Count this elevation as a call by God Almighty for service to Nigeria in general and Kogi State in particular.
The Attorney General of the state then supervises the oath-taking ceremony.
Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The governor then appends his signature, validating the appointment. The governor makes the people the crust of his remark, urging the new judges to discharge their duties in the interest of the people.
A judiciary trusted by the people will promote peace and security. An unjust judiciary is a recipe for anarchy and chaos. As the chief priest in the Temple of Justice, I urge you all to uphold the tenets that set you apart as honorable men and women of the bench. Every Kogite is looking up to you to uphold the rule of law over the rule of men. We must be constantly reminded of our professional mandate to dispense justice to all without bias.
The governor is promising to provide logistic support to the judges to discharge their statutory responsibility as he hands each of the judges an official car.
That crowd you see there is a group called the Plateau Beautiful in conjunction with Booster Bougie Youth. They have organized a candlelight procession in honor of the victims of St. Academy School building collapse in Jos. Hundreds of residents went through the major streets of Jos in procession with their candles as a mark of respect for those who died in the unfortunate incident. They were joined by dignitaries, including the wife of the Plateau State Governor, Mrs. Helen Mofang. The two-story building caved in the morning while the students were writing their examination. Preliminary investigation into the incident has indicated that there were defects and professional inadequacy in the collapsed building.
Quite devastating. There are no words to express, what happened, but it's quite devastating. And I think it's for the public and all those who are involved in construction, one way or the other, to learn a lesson from what happened and do the right thing at the right time without having to reach the required standard, for such construction, so that this kind of incident doesn't repeat itself. For those who lost their children, we are praying that God will help them and fill the vacuum that has been created in their lives by the loss of their loved ones. And we're also praying that God will perfect the healing of the rest of the victims of that incident, and they will be able to get back to their feet, back to school. They will get over the horror of being involved in such a situation.
A big amen to that, such a tragedy. Well, that's the program today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Melinda Akinlami.